Hello? Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. Because, oh my gosh. Hello. Hello. I'm going to. Hello? I can hear me. Okay. So, you would not believe what it takes to get this game to capture. As you can see, here's my Windows desktop, my nice pony screen. Because this game absolutely refuses to game capture. So it has to window capture or monitor capture. And the only HD resolution is 4:3, 1600 by 1200. So it's, if I run it in a window, it's too big for the screen because of the borders. But if I run it in full screen, it locks everything, all keyboard, all mouse, to the window, so I can't do anything except play. So, I've brought my broken laptop out of storage so I can check Discord and stream. So yeah. So I hope this works at all. Am I in the right tag? Is this tagged correctly? It should be Complete Chronicles. This game has a plethora of names to its, well, name. But the version that I'm playing is called Uru Complete Chronicles, the version that's on GOG. Because if there is a game available on GOG, I'm going to use the version on GOG. Nope, that is not the correct. Whatever. Okay. I clicked on the wrong game. Anyway, normally I have the game already loaded up and in the background to just be like noise and stuff, but as you can see, I haven't done that because well, it's interesting. So, I'll just open up the launcher because this Myst game has a launcher. Oh, and it's going to be has to run in admin mode even. So here we go. This is the Myst online launcher. Apologies for my screen is squished right now because the game runs in 4:3, but my monitor is 16:10. So this is probably kind of hard to read. It's just kind of a standard, it was supposed to be welcome message for current events online, but now it's just kind of a placeholder. Thanks for playing. I'm going to delete this character because it was my testing, and we'll make a new one. And I think I'm good to go. I have a big old 3-page write-up that I did to explain the some of the build up to this game and the history of this game and the baggage of this game. So, however, without further ado, I'll show you what this thing is. Double check everything here. This is the full extent of the graphics panel. This thing had EAX effects back when people actually bought Sound Blaster cards. Starting at Uru, please wait. Fingers crossed. The screen is going to go. The stream is going to lock up, and I'm going to freeze, and everything's going to go haywire until it finally loads. So, oh, whoops. See, I loaded it in a window by mistake, and I thought I had it. Close. All right, do this again. Hold on. 1 minute. We'll get there eventually. Okay, graphics, not windowed mode. Okay. Is it gonna work this time? By the way, well, I was planning on just doing a 2-hour stream because, man, I swear, every time I get in this chair, it feels like it's slightly lower. Gonna be a 2-hour streams for most of the week. Oh boy, the Ubisoft toilet flush logo. Nice and familiar cyan logo. Good stuff. This is when they renamed themselves to Cyan Worlds because they were afraid that they couldn't trademark a color. So they called themselves Cyan Worlds for a while. Monitor calibration. This is the only time you'll see it. So when you start the game, this is the screen that you are met with. You have no idea what's going on. You just get a character creation avatar builder. Like, first thing out of the gate, this is it. I'm literally building. I ran this game from like a brand new user. And it is not nice. Even for the time, it was kind of But okay, let's just see. Let's just make a quick Sandy, I guess. Glasses, eyes, green. Here's the thing. So this game, I'll get into it in a second. This game was designed to be a multiplayer MMO. Back before MMOs were really a thing. They were kind of on the uptick when this thing came out. So when you're playing offline, you almost never see your avatar. Well, you can play in third-person mode or first-person mode, which playing a Myst game, first-person mode is vastly superior. Let's see, get some mountain boots. Some black mountain climbing boots. Jeans. Sure. Make it a little darker. Who has a blue jacket? Can we make a leather jacket? Maybe. Does that look okay? Okay. Meh. Hands. You can wear gloves. You can change your pants. Shoes. Face. You can put on glasses if you want. Hair. Let's get darker hair. Is that good enough? That's good enough. Spoilers. We're not going to see a whole lot of this. Maybe brighten up the shoes a bit. Those shoes are more purple than... What kind of color pickers are these? Most people give you a slider or like a tick thing so you can like pick exactly the color you want. Every time I'm clicking this, it's not the same color. You'll never get the same color. You know, good enough. Good enough. And now we begin with a video.
Isha, last night your mother had a dream. The dream tells that the ancient Dunny city will grow again someday. New seekers of Dunny will flow in from the desert, feeling called to something they do not understand. But the dream also tells of a desert bird with the power to weave this new Dunny's future. We fear such power. It changes people. Isha, our desert bird, your search seems to take you further and further from us. I hope what you find will bring you closer.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So here's the intro. It gives you basic controls. The controls are not good. I will remap these real quick. Sidestep. Oh, it must have remembered. Sidestep AD. QE is left rotate. Jump is spacebar. First person is F1. Book options. Key. And take a picture. All good, all good. Game settings. This looks good. Advanced. Shadow quality. Smoother camera. You want that off. Stay in first person. We may turn that on. When you do... Okay, so F1. Here's first person mode. Standard Myst. Here's third person mode. Standard MMO. Only holding down the right mouse button does not actually turn the camera. It just kind of pans it a little bit. It like moves the camera. It doesn't move your character. For that, you have to use the keyboard. All right, so this is where you start in this game. And now, before we get much further, I would like to read. I had to write this down because there's so much, and I would forget something if I didn't. So this game, actually, it came out in 2003 to 2004, kind of the winter time. So this was even before like World of Warcraft wasn't a thing yet. EverQuest was the big MMO juggernaut that people wanted to be. So everybody was trying to be the next EverQuest. And World of Warcraft was announced, I believe, because it came out in 2004, end of 2004-ish. Does that sound right? I would look it up, but I can't without breaking my stream. Anyway, little history. Myst came out on the PC in 1994. I just knocked over my Switch. One moment. So, Myst actually came out for Mac first in 1993, and I guess there's some new information about how Myst came to PC that just came out, like, in the last couple days, but I haven't read that article yet. But Myst was made in a garage. This is back in the day when people made games in your garage. And it was published by, I think you pronounce it Broderbund. That's how I always pronounced it. This is... you know, the people who would publish the good old educational titles, such as Carmen Sandiego is a big one that I remember. Maybe not Oregon Trail, but Rita Rabbit, all those kind of like schooly type games. That's who published Myst first. Okay? Myst made them a lot of money. So they actually built, and you can look it up. You can look up the Cyan headquarters in Spokane, Washington, or Spokane. I've heard it. I've been yelled at by so many different people about how to pronounce it. You pronounce it however you see fit. Spokane. It looks like a building out of Myst, like inside and out. It's not just on the outside. It looks like a building from Myst. inside it looks like a building from Myst. So they built the building. They started working on Riven right after that, and Riven for the PC came out in 1997 and made by Cyan. And it was published by Red Orb Entertainment, which is actually a division of Broderbund that spun up for doing non-educational games. So that's why Myst, the OG original Myst, you had like a fancy Broderbund logo that was all misty and stuff. So, and then Riven was like a weird red orb thing. It's like, oh, okay. So they made enough money from Myst that Riven was practically like a movie production in the scale of it. And it's probably on YouTube somewhere, the making of Riven video that came actually with Riven. So I would encourage you to look that up because the making of Riven is pretty cool for back in the day. And now, let's see here. In 1998, this is just kind of like business for how Ubisoft actually got the rights to publish this game. So in 1998, the Learning Company bought Broderbund, and they like downsized Broderbund tremendously, and they took all of Broderbund's publishing rights for all their games. So I remember when that happened. All of these names are things like I still remember quite well, so it's like, great. That means I'm old, right? These companies are long dead. Nobody knows what they are anymore. In 1999, Mattel Interactive bought the Learning Company. So started changing hands. Apparently, buying the Learning Company got the Mattel CEO of the time fired for bad business decisions, which I didn't know at the time, but that's kind of hilarious in hindsight. And in 2000, Real Myst came out. So if you have the original Real Myst and you start that thing up, you'll see Mattel's logo all over everything. So it's like, you know, the Hot Wheels company? That's them. The same folks, Mattel Interactive. In 2000, that is also when I happened to join the Myst community. So we finally got a computer and we finally got internet, and I found out that there were other Myst fans on the internet. So that was my like big moment. Like, I'm in love with the internet. I can find people who like the same things I like. So Real Myst was actually something of a trial run for the game engine that they would be using to develop Myst Online. So if you play like the original Real Myst, you'll see like the loading bars at the bottom and everything just looks, it's a more clunkier version, I guess, because they were like trying to see if they could do what they wanted with it. And it was called the Plasma Engine, and that's all I really know about it. It was written in Python, if any of you are curious about that. So when Real Myst came out, we knew that there was a game that they were building, and that it was codenamed Dirt, which stood for Dunny in Real Time. And I actually remember all these. Cyan had a chat room that was kind of like the official place that, you know, fans would get to chat live. And a lot of people just kind of lived there for a while, basically. Like, that was home on the internet for a lot of us. And Cyan would actually come into that chat room and, like, give us real world hints and, like, Easter eggs that were hidden on their website for, like, screenshots and clips and stuff for this Dirt that they were building. Eventually, they changed the codename Dirt to codename Mudpie, which I also remember, which was more kind of like a silly thing that they called it, but it was like multiplayer Dirt persistent interactive experience, I think is what they wanted to call it. That's what the letter acronym stood for, which was ridiculous and over the top, but that was kind of intentional. Let's see here. In 2001, Mattel Interactive was sold to just some random company that buys stuff. Like, they go around buying companies that are being sold because they're too expensive. Mattel wanted to get rid of their computer games, so this random company bought it, and they took some of the stuff. They took like the Office things that Learning Company made, and they kept that and sold it to somebody else. But the games, they actually sold to everybody's favorite company, Ubisoft. So that is why, in 2001, Myst 3 Exile came out with Ubisoft logos. In 2003, that is when Uru, Ages Beyond Myst came out. AKA Uru Live, AKA Myst Online. And unfortunately, it was released, mangled, and subsequently torched by Ubisoft. Ubisoft, well, there's a reason I don't like Ubisoft, and this is why. So 2003, like I said, it was the time of the MMO boom. So EverQuest had been out for a considerable amount of time. Asheron's Call was still a thing back then. Star Wars Galaxies and Matrix Online were kind of new-ish, but kind of... I think Matrix Online was kind of new around the same time as Myst Online was. But, so, okay, so you could buy Ages Beyond Myst in stores around the end of 2003, and they would say that you could play it offline, but in 2004, they would release the online component for it. All right, so Myst Online wasn't online yet, but you could sign up for beta testing. Unfortunately, long story short, Ubisoft, unceremoniously just pulled funding and just closed the whole thing in 2004 before it even went live. They had a beta phase, and it was kind of... I mean, they would, slowly trickle people inside, and, let me see here. I'm losing my train of thought, and I could go into, so much stuff, but I don't want to. I just want to, I'm already, jibber-jabbering so much. All right, so Ubisoft axed Uru Live in 2004 before it even officially went live after realizing MMOs were expensive. So they were actually going to partner publish Matrix Online, but they also pulled out of that, which I recall hurt Matrix Online quite a lot. So at this stage in time, they were calling it Uru Prologue, which was kind of like, we're starting to open it up. It's an open beta kind of thing. They were letting people in waves, and there was no subscription yet, so anybody whose account was turned on, they could join. But around the time they started doing the cancellation announcements, someone, it was a fiasco at the time, but someone, don't know who, accidentally, I do air quotes because it's kind of conspiratorial, they accidentally flagged everybody's accounts to play online, so everybody could get in who wanted to get in before it was actually shut down. So it didn't really matter, though, by then, because Ubisoft already decided to cancel it before they even started charging money for it. So it's why would you spend all this time building your game and then not even let it go? So let's see. I'm going to cut out some of this because I just really went blah, 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 blah. So after they closed it, they actually released the content that was scheduled to be released as expansion packs. So you could download this They called it Too Dunny. That was for free, and I think you just downloaded it like a patch online. But then they actually released a major expansion that you had to buy at stores. Was it at stores? Either you had to pay for it. However you did that. It was called Path of the Shell, and it added 2 more ages to the game. And then they stopped. They're like, "That's it. Game is done. Go be happy with it." They were still, though, entitled to 2 other Myst games as part of this contract. So the contract was Uru, the Myst Online part, and then 2 actual Myst games. So Ubisoft Montreal was developing Myst 4 Revelation at the time, which I'm going to become like an X-Files conspiracy person. I think that their goal was to just make Myst 4, honestly, because they like hyped that like nobody's business. They hyped that game hard compared to everything else. So I'm not gonna lie, the way they treated like Myst Online, I was already soured on Myst 4 when it came out, so I didn't play it a whole lot. And then I heard how the ending was done, and I decided I would not play it. So I've never finished that game. But the second Myst game that they were entitled to, Cyan kind of rushed out a Myst 5 so they could just be done with it. And then they were done with it. They were done with Myst. Luckily, Cyan reacquired the license to Uru Live. And they kind of set up a temporary, like, official, like, server that you could, like, kind of hack your game into. You could take Complete Chronicles, that was the bundle of all the expansion packs, and install a program, just like it was a conversion utility thing that it would convert it back to online mode so you could connect to Cyan's kind of custom server they had running. So you could still kind of play online, but it wasn't, they weren't supporting it or anything. It was just kind of a, well, it's here if anybody cares still. And then, so it was kind of on life support. It was called Until Uru. That was just the kind of, the code name for the game at that time. So in 2006, there was kind of a dead time of like 2 years. So Ubisoft killed it in 2004. In 2006, a company called GameTap showed up. And they were kind of like a Steam competitor at the time. If you know what like Xbox Game Pass is right now, where you just kind of pay a subscription and get a whole library of games, this was GameTap back in 2006. So kind of ahead of their time, although their interface launcher program was like a full screen Windows like dashboard thing. It was not great, but they announced that they were going to bring back Myst Online as a subscription service. So it's like, oh my gosh, it revived. It revived for a little bit. They were everybody was experimenting with like episodic content back then, because Steam at the time was doing like Half-Life 2, and then episode 1 and episode 2 and episode 3, and then everybody was doing like these episode games. So that's how GameTap was going to do Myst Online, do like episodes with like little ages that they would release a little bit at a time. So I remember that you would have like little like pod garden ages. You had like a new, they call it a neighborhood garden age, which we'll see eventually. There were a couple of like larger ages, but they were really kind of big and empty. So we did get new content, but it was really, you could tell that they couldn't do much with games coming out, the ages coming out. And those ages never got patched into Complete Chronicles. So unfortunately, I'm playing Complete Chronicles because I don't want to play like actually online. So there's a few like just cosmetic, unimportant to the story ages that I'm not going to be playing in this version. So kind of struggled with that, but I think just the way that the online portion works is kind of hard to like make sure chat is covered up and everybody's names isn't leaking all over the place. So it's like, I'll just play offline. Unfortunately, GameTap also closed Myst Online due to lack of subscribers, like to the system, to their platform as a whole. Which, I mean, at that point, I was kind of okay with it because at least they gave it a shot. They actually gave it a chance, and it didn't work. GameTap itself really didn't work either because they also eventually closed in I think it was like 2008, like right, just not too long after dropping Myst Online, they actually got sold off to a company and then disbanded. So that was they also didn't make it. Cyan again reacquired the license for publishing, and they again set up the game in its current state. You can actually go to mystonline.com right now and play the game online. It is much like it was back in 2008, but with a few like they open sourced the code actually, so a bunch of people have just like over time like patched things themselves, and Cyan like rolled it into the server and published it for real. So that's kind of like it's official, but it's just it hasn't changed a whole lot. Although I think I saw that they made a fan age. They like canonized a fan age. I remember like back in the day, anybody who played the game and actually liked it was just like, oh, I can't wait until we could make our own ages. So I guess they eventually got their wish 20 years later. Anyway, so there's like, oh, right. So after they set up mystonline.com, Cyan actually closed. They didn't really close, but they went into, well, I'm going to call it hibernation mode. I couldn't actually find any articles talking about it, but I remember because we lived in that chat room at the time for a while. For like 10 years. But yeah, I remember when we knew that they were scaling back to like a skeleton crew just to kind of keep the lights on and keep everything running that needed to be running. But they went into silent mode for quite some time. They would release like little iPhone apps every now and then. Like they put Myst on the iPhone during this time, and they had like other like little games and stuff that they were kind of just putting out for, I don't know, a little money, I guess. Yeah, and then they were dead silent until a little Kickstarter called Abduction showed up on everybody's radar, and the rest is history. Yay! I don't know if that was interesting at all, but I mean, that is like the big old nasty history of this game. And it was like I lived through the thick of it because I was a huge Myst fan at the time. So I lived through all that, and there is so much more to go through, but it's already been like half an hour of just me blah 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 blah. Yeah, funny story, or I guess hashtag Sandy trivia if you care. When Myst Online failed, some of us were looking for something to replace it. So we like checked out the old Star Wars Galaxies for a little bit. Before like the Jedi revamp and the new experience or whatever they called that, NWE. I don't remember what it was called exactly, but we played that for a little bit. But then we played for a while a game called Second Life. which was actually also quite new back then. And it was kind of like I mean, Second Life has changed so much. But back then it was just kind of like, you built stuff and you explored stuff, and that's what you did in Second Life. And eventually, that is how I found ponies through Second Life. I found a recreation of Canterlot in Second Life. So because Myst Online failed, I moved to Second Life, and then through Second Life, I found a version of Canterlot just like built in the game, and that's how I found ponies, and the rest is history. Also, by the way, some of us also tried out a little game called World of Warcraft that was pretty new, and we were like, all right, let's check this out. So I joined World of Warcraft before Dire Maul was a thing, back in patch 1.3. Anyway, that is a humongous and probably quite boring. I should put like a tag in my YouTube video. Hey, you could skip the whole prologue to this by skipping to 30 minutes in the future. 36 minutes. Don't ignore this. I'm touching this because I don't want to have to run back. Find out what these are in a second. So, let's see. Surprised actually how readable this is. Private property, no trespassing. Trespassing for any purposes is strictly prohibited. Violators will be prosecuted. Property owner Elias Zandy, DRF, something, New Mexico. Okay. So one other thing that I didn't, all of that was just real world like history of where this game came from, where it went, what happened to it, why it's still here. So up until this point, we've had Myst, Riven, and Myst 3. And those 3 games were fairly cohesive. And then this game came along, and there's several things that they decided to do away with, canonically speaking. Music. It's beautiful out here. The sun has not set. Actually, I need to keep my laptop open, don't I? Because that's my, I can't see, like, if I needed to answer chat or Discord or something, this is how I would do it. I'm gonna walk around the back of this volcano thing. So, there's a lot of, I don't know what you'd call it. You know how like Star Wars has had the expanded universe, all the books? There were 3 Myst novels that kind of expanded the universe of Myst, and up till this game, they were also canon. So, anybody recognize this? You get a cookie if you recognize this. This is just, it's a skeleton. There's one of these tapestries inside. No, not yet. You might in a second. You might in a second. I'm gonna touch this. I'm gonna go over here and check out this pile of stuff. Because there's also a little tapestry over here. Spoilers. Oh, and what do we have here, huh? Sheets of metal in a weird kind of, I wonder what this is. Strange shape. some sort of conical device with a little like eyepiece. There's a tapestry somewhere. I know there is. I've played this game like a bajillion times. Oh my gosh. Where is it? I know it's here somewhere. Am I crazy? Yes, this is the telescope from the end of Riven. And that over there is a Wark skeleton, actually. A Wark skeleton. I swear there's a tapestry here. Maybe I'm just nuts. One thing that you'll find out about this game, it is, I would say, 40% walking simulator. Okay, so I'm going to have to turn off the music here so I don't get DMCA'd. This was back when they were obsessed with putting, like, pop music into things, like, randomly. So you have, like, all this Myst music. It's atmospheric. You're, you know, you want to be in the moment, and then I think it's some song by Peter Gabriel back in the day, and Ubisoft was like, put this in the game so we could put on the box featuring this dumb song by Peter Gabriel. So there's a guy in this, around this corner here, who's playing that dumb song on his radio really loudly, and I don't want to hear it. Get DMCA'd. Hey, you.
Hey, welcome. So, I'm Sandy. I probably know more about why you're here than you do. Don't worry about it. You felt drawn here, just like the others. I'm not really here to give you answers, just to give you help and get you started. She's left a message for you in the cleft. Listen to it well. Follow her. Find the journeys. And then...
Oh, Journey Cloths.
Enter the tree.
Enter the tree.
Oh, and check with me if you need help.
Didn't you just say you weren't here to give me answers? So, almost all of the dialogue that you get from people in this game are just like nonsense riddles. Okay, I can turn the music back on. Boop. Oh, third person. So, I'll have to like point out like, whoa, I guess things you would know if you read the books. This is actually where Atris, Gin, and Gin's mother grew up, kind of. After... Oh! I forgot this happened. I was surprised before it happened. So, the story goes, Dunny is a city on Earth underground, obviously, and... Well, it's like I don't know how much to... I'll just say. So, there's a character in one of the books. She actually finds a path... Oh. The more that... I'm, like, going through it in my head, and... remembering more and more things. Okay. So the story starts that Dunny, people of Dunny, are trying to dig upward because they've never done that before. Ooh, there's goggles. I just took the goggles by mistake. Am I wearing the goggles now? I'm wearing the goggles now. Can I zoom in? No. Why would I want to zoom in? Hi, I'm wearing Atrus's goggles now. I'm going to read this letter real quick. Our dearest Yeesha, last night your mother had a dream. Oh, this is just the intro. I will use them to bring me the least. Is that impossible? I don't know what this says. Something his... What does that say? Can anybody read that? Now his something is... music? Now his garden? This is a G? G-A-R. Now his garden is... What? What I have found must be returned. Something about a garden. I don't recall this message being particularly important. Anyway, I was distracted from the book. All right, so Dunny is wanting to, like, tunnel to the surface to find out what's up there because they've never done it before. It didn't work. They caused, like, an earthquake and a landslide, and they just, like, abandoned it because they took it as an omen, I guess. I don't know. A surface dweller found... I mean, they also experienced the earthquake and found a way down into Dunny through a volcano that they were exploring at the time, if I recall correctly. And long story short, she marries somebody from the city, and then she has a son named Gen, and then the city just goes haywire. Everybody dies from a plague that was perpetrated by terrorists, essentially. And they all had to move back up here, and this is where Gen and his mom grew up. And then Gen went off and got married and came back and had Atrus. And then Gen ran off back down to the city and left Atrus with his grandmother here in this place. They called it the Cleft because it's like just a big, like Rivendell. It's just a big crack in the ground, which is oddly shaped like the fissure, actually, if you look straight down. Anyway, long story short, this is Atrus's childhood home. Also, they're talking about a character named Yeesha. Did she have her... was she named in Myst 3? So Atrus and Catherine had a new daughter in Myst 3. That was Yeesha at the time. Little baby Yeesha. So there's a bit of a time jump, obviously. So she has apparently growed up. I already know that this place has no power, which is why I'm not touching much. Except I don't remember how to turn on the power. Because it's been like 300 years. Ah, yes. I remember this. I'm going to... You know what? I'm just going to... Do I have... Excuse me, I'm trying to get my surface out. Alright, I need to... There's a circle with an X through it. There's a shape. It's the square squiggly thing with a cross plus sign. Whenever you see, like, weird shapes, write it down even though you don't know what it's for. It's kind of a seashell circle or an eyeball, maybe. Then at the bottom, I would call that a turtle. Because it's got a head and then 4 feet. And then another, like, square thingy. Thingamabob. And it's kind of got a weird pattern in there. Done. Dog. Another, like, way back in the day, this was one of the first games to have, like, physics engine-driven physics. I can't remember if it was Havoc. Way back then, it was, like, Havoc versus PhysX. And I know Havoc is still around. I forget which one this one was, but either way, yeah. Physics engines were brand new. Oh, right. It's a wind-powered. It's powered by a windmill. Excuse me while I slowly climb the ladder. Okay, these are the bedrooms. These are the labs. This is the way up. Splish splash. Oh. I remember now. Wait, nothing happened? Excuse me? Huh. Thought it was supposed to light up. I don't know if anybody else, like, remembers things the way I do. I'll kind of... Usually, I will remember things, but not be able to recall them very well until I see it again. So, like, names. I won't know a name until I see it. So, I didn't remember about the journey cloths until I saw one, and I'm like, oh, it all comes rushing back. So I think each age has 7 journey cloths. I think I double messed up. Yeah, I double messed up. Remember, I warned you, this game is 40% walking simulator. Can I just jump in? Nope. It's not gonna let me jump to my death. We will find her eventually. The premise of this game is we're being called to something in the desert. And we get to this place, and there is a holographic projector, and Yesha is going to make us go through all these ages to teach us a lesson. The problem is the lesson is kind of weird and retcons a lot of stuff from Myst and Riven. So I was just kind of like, I reject your lessons, because this makes no sense compared to everything we know. Okay. So, excuse me, get out here. Beep, beep. This? Okay. I forgot to pull the lever to unlock the thing. Oops. Climb. So here's a question, actually. Do you Would you prefer that I, like, talk about things that I remember as I remember them? Or do you want to see the game, like, unfold as if I'm playing it for the first time? In which case, I'll talk about stuff as they come up. Push, you wimpy avatar. Maybe as it comes up. In which case, I will... I'm stuck. Oh, there we go. Oh man, I don't have any water. Climb down the ladder. No, don't. It's like the animation is so slow. Once you're on the ladder, you might as well climb down. It'll be faster than climbing back up to jump off. I will at least say this much. The first 4 ages are somewhat not as much puzzle as they are jumping puzzle. Beep boop, what's this? Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah. They have power doors in a desert Rivendell. Okay. The symbols. That's it?
Oh yes, not in Denis, they won't understand. Once again, the stream in the cleft has begun to flow. It was dry for so long. The water is flowing in from the desert. The storm is coming. Have you heard of the city? The deep city, the ancient ae'gura? Where there was power to right worlds. For thousands of years, the city lived beneath the surface. Keeper of the secret. Keeper of the power. Keeper of the ages. Always keeping. The city grew proud. And then it died. The water flows where it wills. It seeks its own path uncontrolled, except that it flows downward, always downward. Denis, the city of ages, of other worlds, died. But now it breathes again. It awaits. Some will seek that destination, but you should seek the journey. It's as a fine tapestry, complex beyond comprehension, but now torn. We will show you remnants, pieces of the tapestry, pieces of the journey.
I think she is high.
Find these remnants, these journeys. 7 in each age. 7 here in the desert. Consider it a quest. No, a request. Worship. The water flows downward, and there it pools and collects, and finally, once again, it reaches the roots, and the tree begins to grow again. I am Isha, My parents brought me to this place. We will bring you.
Okay. So, yeah. See, I happened to like Myst and Riven, and Myst 3 for that matter, just because it's kind of more logical puzzles, I guess. Because this is back when people were making adventure games left and right, and there were kind of two approaches to adventure games. And one of them was like, let's make it realistic ish, things make sense and they're logical. And then you had like Monkey Island and LucasArts kind of games where things were just a bit like quirky. And I didn't like the quirky stuff, I really liked the logical stuff. Things would make sense. So, have all this history, Myst and Riven and Exile, and then this game comes along, and you're like, are you high? What are you talking about? Find the tapestries? So, yeah. I am not a fan of Yisha. A lot of people were. I wasn't. And that's all this game kind of is. So, on the one hand, this game was like a big part of my life. And on the other hand, I didn't really like it at all. Actually, see, because you'd play it online. So, to actually unlock the online part, you had to play through this like main quest thing before you could get into the city and do stuff with people. So this was just kind of like, this is in the way. I want to get into the city. Of course, I'm playing offline. Oh well. One of the expansions actually unlocks most, if not all, of the city locations anyway, so we can go there eventually. Once I find all the journeys. I'm missing one. I'm missing one. Oh, I know where it is. I remembered. Whoops. How? Have to climb this. Today's a Tuesday, right? I've already lost track of time this week. I want it to be Thanksgiving holiday. So, she was talking about, the City of Ages. They were they were always keepers, and then they grew proud, and then they died. That's another... I will admit that it is up to interpretation how the city died. Because if you read the book, basically there was like a push and pull between like the upper class. So Dunny was kind of like, I wouldn't say they were feudal, but they were kind of classist, I suppose. So you had all these guilds. So what is that? That's kind of a method of organizing government, right? It's not quite mercantilism, but there was that era where you kind of had like guilds of like people, and you would always like apprentice with somebody in the guild. So Dunny had guilds in all of their important stuff. Like they had a guild of bookmakers, which is what Gin was trying to do on Riven, and then they had a guild of writers, which would actually learn how to write ages. They had a guild of surveyors that would like go to the ages and like, you know, survey them. So they had all these guilds. And if you were rich enough, you could grow up and join one of these guilds. Like, you'd pick a guild as a kid and then basically just move up through the ranks. And that was how Dunny Society worked. So there was a push and pull in the novel between the upper class people and the lower class people, and the city was just kind of like, we should like let more people into the guilds because that'll just be better for everybody. And in the book, it was some of the upper class folks just kind of went, well, they became terrorists essentially, and rather than like give up their power, they released a plague into the city and murdered everybody. It's like, what? So there wasn't any indication of all of this like, oh, they hoarded their ages and they grew proud and then they died. It was just kind of like a thing that happened. Here is a book. A tiny book. First, retcon. Retcon number 1. Linking books that link with you. Why? No explanation. If it was Mr. Riven, you might have at least been tried to be given an explanation. But here, no explanation. It just links with you. So now you have a book with you that you can link back anytime you want. From a game perspective, I know why they did it, but from a story perspective, I mean, no. We quite clearly established that books do not link with you when you use them. So this little island is called Relto. You can kind of see the similarities between an island that we may all know and love. Here's your kind of dock area. There's where the gears would be. There's the library and the mountain where the Tower of Rotation would be. You even have a pillar garden. And you have a rock where your clock tower would be. No rocket. But yeah, it's like a tiny Myst. And here's your wardrobe. This is where you would actually change. You can pick up clothes and stuff as you play, and that was how you'd customize your character. You'd come into your wardrobe and be like, hey, look, I unlocked some goggles. Yay. I don't want the goggles. I want my glasses back. Boink. Glasses. You can kind of change stuff if you really want to. Like, I think I want that ponytail instead. So, this is kind of your home age. This was kind of like your personal age, and I don't remember how you would do it, but you could invite people into your world, essentially. And then here's a bookshelf. We have many journals. Which I don't recall ever reading these. Ahem. 1. Teledon. The truth of a man is found in the darkness beneath the surface. Some light might reveal only what some men want to be seen. That is I think that's a Dunny name. Regget something. Book 4, entry 221, item 24. Garrison. So this is kind of like a... So you have all these age names, and then you come across this one, and it's called Ga-Ri-Sen, and it's a garrison age. So they kind of just... It's an age with a garrison, and they call it Ga-Ri-Sen. The laws contrived by the proud are their security, and their undoing. Such laws make disobedience a virtue, and obedience a sin. I mean, not gonna lie, sounds like modern society to me, but... Kadish Tolesa? Only the way a man... Wait. Only the way a man is when he is hidden is how he is? See, this is like all Yisha nonsense. It's like, bruh. Ae'gura and Bevan, those are locations in the city. There are some who came here thinking they could build the tree, but only a dead tree is built. Life cannot be assembled from remains. And now these builders are gone. What happened to them? Are they now part of the remains, or have they become part of the tree? For the tree does grow. The great cavern breathes. Voices in places in the great void. The called continue their journey here. Building or growing, it is their choice. One new book given to open up paths in the cavern. Given to open up the origin. Given to open up a glimpse of the future. I really like that even you thought to ask, is she high? Because that's the impression that I get when I read this stuff. My brain just doesn't. It just doesn't. My journal. Sandy's journal. Where the heck am I? I forgot that there was a journal. There was a journal in the game, and I think you could put screenshots in it. Like, you could take pictures and put it in your journal. Oh, no. Oh, no. I remember these. Okay, so these books were added in the expansion Path of the Shell. See, this little symbol here is like the shape of a shell. So the tapestries right now are handprints. There are 7 to get in each age. This is a shell, so eventually the tapestries turn into a shell. Why, I don't remember. But I will, I don't know, man. All I remember is that you see these flip tabs here? As you, like, collected books. As you collect books, they go into your shelf here. Actually, trying to think. Before we go... All right. All right. Focus, Sandy. The books. There's 2 books here right now. These books over here are the hands, you know. So these are, like, the first ages. This is the base game, essentially. Here are the ages with the hand tapestries. Here are the city books, because this is the symbol for the city that you'll learn eventually. And here's the Path of the Shell books. So I think this is just... Where is this going to go? Is that a neighborhood? I don't remember. Is this the neighborhood book? This is the... Oh, this is the neighborhood book. Wait, what is this? I don't remember that. Were there 2 neighborhoods? I ask as if anybody watching me would remember. All right, so touch these thingies. The places of protection. So here is another one of these instances where I don't remember. Oh, okay. But it's like, here you are, you're given, here's your island. You have 4 books in pedestals, you have 2 books on your bookshelf. Where do you go first? And I remember needing to go here? But what would happen as you, like, linked to ages? So obviously this is empty. You have 2 books. But as you, like, play the game, you can find books in other places. And if you use those books, the book gets added to your bookshelf. And then you basically have a link to whatever book you found. How? Why? If you use a book, it magically shows up on your shelf? I don't know. But when you invite people to your island, they can link to your ages to help you with them, but you have to, like, flip the tab up to unlock the book because they won't be able to use it if you have the books locked. Oh my gosh. These are names I remember. These are all names. Some of these people are still around, actually. This guy's still around. I wish this guy was still around. He's still around. So, yeah, you would have a neighborhood. And neighborhoods were kind of like guilds in World of Warcraft. You could join a neighborhood and people could belong to, just a small group of people could belong to the same neighborhood. And if you had visitors, yeah, that's the guest book. Visitors show up and their name would get logged on the screen. So whichever, when the game closed, obviously this was a snapshot of, February 9th, 2004, which may have in fact been like shortly before Ubisoft pulled the plug, because it was 2004 when they did that. So like the last people who visited this neighborhood. There could have been, my name could have easily just been up on here, but I was probably in another neighborhood at the time. And then here you had like a screenshot, like a slideshow. You could upload screenshots from your. We'll get one eventually. They call it a key. It's kind of like a smartwatch sort of doodad, which I'm going to try to find. Oh no! This was a rock, paper, scissors machine and it smashed. Rock, paper, scissors, but it was Book Beetle ink. And if I recall correctly, the beetle ate the ink, and the ink wrote on the book, and the book smashed the beetle. And I was a god at that game. I don't know why. I don't know how. But I had the highest score in the neighborhoods that I played. It was crazy. Musical chairs, musical lights. I feel like... What the? Fire marbles! Cones! Beep boop. That door is not opening. think this door opens. The Dunny Restoration Council. Something, something. Cones and blockades are for your protection. Please mind the reconstruction. Alright, so the online version of this game had an ongoing kind of story. Please avoid drinking the lake water. Because, fun fact, the Dunny City has a big old underground lake, and it glows. They use it for the sun, so it like glows at certain times and then dims at certain times. And of course, like Riven, the bacteria in the water is not nice to drink. In your best interest in mind, oh, please only use approved linking books. Yeah, see, here's the rock paper scissors thing was called Ayohik. And this classroom board would have like the high scores in the neighborhood. The Dunny Restoration Council welcomes all new explorers. Remember, safety is number one. Anyway, as I was saying, the Dunny Restoration Council was kind of like, they were like cyan people who were playing characters in the game. And they were in charge of restoring the city. They were the ones who would like recover an age and then verify its safety and then let the public use it. So they kind of made an RP out of... Oof. They made an RP out of like the release of ages. I don't know what this says. It's written in Dunny. Welcome to Dunny. Please link to Gary Sen and pick up your key. Do. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We may have a problem here. Oh. No problem. Oh. A problem? No problem? I'm linking. So, the smartwatch thing is called a key because it has the Dunny numeral 3 on it. And it looks like KI. So everybody just calls it a key. I think I can't use this because I don't have a key. So the lore reason behind having a key is that it was kind of your citizenship/ID. So if I had the key on, I could put my wrist in this hole and it would show me a list of ages that I have authorized to access. But I don't, so I'm gonna have to link back home. With my book that comes with me because I'm wearing it on my pants. Alright, cool. And so since I've used the book to that room I was in with the wrist reader thing, that's called the Nexus because it has like a record of all the books that you have access to. So since I've used that book, it is now on my shelf. And the garrison age is here. Boom. Man, this is crazy stuff. I sometimes wonder what it would be like to play this game right now without knowing any of the history. Because you'd like walk up and see the guest book in the neighborhood, the signs that say, get your key, or go to the garrison age and get your key. You can go to the wrong places and not be able to do anything. Oh. Trivia. This age is the Guild of Maintainers age. The Guild of Maintainers are like, oh. What? Oh. I forgot these. Do I use it now? One of the problems with this game is, say you come across like a stray linking book laying around and you're like, I can use that. But then I go somewhere else and I can't get back. So is it worth going to now? Yes. Oh, it's a balcony in the neighborhood. Oh, look. Look, it's the lake. See, it's the orange lake. It must be nighttime and or the bacteria in the lake is dead. I think that was a thing. Some sort of mural. I remember being able to glitch jump over this railing and like get into locked neighborhoods. Like you could lock a neighborhood so it doesn't show up in the Nexus for public use. But if people used that tapestry that I just used in the Garrison Age, you could sometimes show up in random people's balconies and then glitch jump over the balcony and get inside their locked neighborhood. But I think they patched it with a big ol' invisible wall, so you can't do that anymore. And yet here I am trying to do that. Okay. Linking back. Garrison is on the shelf now because I've used it. Oh, right. Guild of Maintainers. So the Guild of Maintainers' job is to visit ages and, like, keep an eye on them. Just to make sure that they're still stable and safe. And that's what this big old thing is. This is a helmet from, like, their giant Iron Man suit. Because it's a bit like walking through a Stargate, right? You don't know what's on the other side until you link there. But you could also link into a black hole. So they had this big old suit that they would wear, and there would be like a linking book in their arm. So you'd link in wearing this big old suit, and then if it was safe, you could link back. If it wasn't safe, you hoped your suit didn't vaporize. Ta-da! My key. And this is what you would use to... Oh. Is it shut down? Huh. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe it's like shut. Whoops. Trying to think of maybe the key opens up offline or if this is it. But it used to be that if you played online, your key here, if you brought up the screen, this would be like the list of all your friends. who's like in the age with you right now. And you could chat. You could private message. You do all your social media stuff. Ooh. There's a page down here. See, check it out. It added a page to my Relto, which I'm going to use. And it should have added like a... Oh, it added sticks and stones. Hooray! Just what I always wanted on my age. Sticks and stones to roll around with my feet. So you can kind of customize your Relto by finding those pages hidden all over the place. Bye! I absolutely don't remember where all those pages are, and I think it doesn't matter because I'm not online. So who's going to see it except us? Now that I have a key, I should be authorized to use some books. The ferry terminal. Ta-da! Book! So here is... This would be a lot more populated if we were online. Because you would be able to look at all the neighborhoods that are like open to the public. And then also all the city locations that you have unlocked. Maybe the possibility of sharing ages with people that way? I don't remember, like remote sharing. Alright, so I have the ferry terminal unlocked already, but I'll go ahead and do that. It's so pretty. This was like the hub of activity, the ferry terminal. Ooh. What's this? I kind of remember and kind of don't remember like all this stuff. Ooh, another Relto page. Oh, is that it? Oh, right. So this is Teledon, a kind of like agricultural age, if I recall correctly. And yes, the sun is in fact moving that fast. So I believe they are actually saying that the planet is either really small or spinning really fast. Would it be if the planet was smaller, the rotation would look faster? If it was bigger, the rotation would look faster? I know if it was bigger, you could rotate slower. That's how gears work, right? What? I think I got a dock. Yeah. I added a dock to my Relto. All right. So here's just to make the game like MMO friendly, I guess. So I got like a secret. It's like linking books with multiple pages. But because I haven't discovered, air quotes, discovered the main link, I can't use the main link. But here's the, you know, hidden areas behind it on other pages. Smaller planet would could spin faster without throwing you off, but it would have less gravity also. I think maybe, I don't know if I'm even going to get to a puzzle today. I'm just kind of walking around the places that I can go. Beep boop, ferry terminal. It was also really weird at the time. You could only have like 20 people in the city at any given time. So you would have multiple copies of, like, basically you'd have instances of all the different cities full of people, and you'd have to coordinate which city people were in. It was really weird, because that kind of opened the can of worms for, like, are you saying there are multiple versions of the city to, like, incorporate that into the Nexus? Is there anything back here? No? I seem to recall seeing these blue lights. You could tell what district you're in based on the shape of the lights in the neighborhood. Not that I remember what the other shapes of lights were or what they meant. I'll kick over your traffic cone. Get out of here. So this place, this right here, was the most populated just because it was like the first link to the city most people had. But I don't think there's anything over there. I'm going upstairs. And for the longest time, it was the only, like, link to the city that you had, because they would have construction cones in... Oh, yep, see? Here we go. They'd have construction cones up to prevent you from going deeper into the city until it was ready. Sometimes you could glitch through it and unlock. Put your hand in the Nexus terminal up there. But, let me in! Let me in! Oh! Aw. Yep, I can't. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Let's do... when should we do? Trying to think. I think the coolest age is that one. Okay, this is Teledon. I'll just collect all these books. How about that? Step 1, collect the books. It's only been an hour and 40 minutes. I mean... The book is missing. That's nice. All right. Don't want to do this one yet. We're just collecting the books. Put the books on the shelf. Okay, so what that's done, check it out. Now the first panel should also be unlocked. Yep. Okay, so we have a book. I think this one is called ae'gura? I'm not sure of the lore behind it, but it's kind of like just a deserty, canyon-y age. So, Uru, 40% walking. And then I would say 40% walking, 40% jumping puzzles, 20% actual puzzles. So this is the, in my opinion, the best age because it had the most like sit down and think puzzles. Like this, out of all the ages, this one felt the most Myst and Riven-y. Of course, I'm already like lost. It's absolutely silent. I already went the wrong way. Ooh. Nope. Splish, splash. Is this the correct first step? I don't remember, and I feel like there's like a sneaky hidden thingy over here. There is not. There is, in fact, not. Do you think I can make the jump? Jumping puzzle 1. Successful. Oh, there's the book. Hello, book. This here is arguably the best music in the game. This is the gallery. I'm gonna check. I know these doors go out to the city. No! Fenced off. Curse you and my inability to gently scale these waist-high traffic barriers. I remember printing off every single one of these because they're like puzzle pieces. However, I don't need to print in this day and age. Can you believe I used to have the solutions to these memorized? I did not have to come down here. And I know exactly what this is used for. Don't remember how to read it. So this place is just some dudes. I don't know where to get like the lore for the ages. There's a whole buttload of lore for these things, but I haven't found the journals or anything yet. Oh, see, this is what the key was for. Whoops, wrong button. Key. You could literally take screenshots. Boop. If you were online, I recall you could name them and like send them to people and put them on like the imagers and beep boop. Can I take more than one picture? I have a journal. Can I put a picture in my journal? Hello? I thought you could put... Oh, wait. I feel like... Okay, so when you take a screenshot with your key, it actually saves a JPEG to your drive. Didn't the journal used to save a text file to your drive? Like, you could pull it out? I don't know. I don't know. All right, and now this one's the complicated one, believe it or not. This one's the most complicated. Oh, gosh. I think I need to take a series of pictures. Let's see, not only is it just 6, it's 6 times 3. So I'm going to start on just the regular old one. So this one, and this one. Got it? Did I get all 3 in one go? So we've got just like a mushroom and a square and a pyramid with a sphere and then boxes and then a target and a mushroom. And then it rotates. All right. I actually do remember like the solution to this particular puzzle, even though it is the most complicated. This one I also know how to do. That one I know how to do, so it won't take too long. These two I don't remember. How to do. How to do. See, so all the safe books have the DRC symbol stamped on them. So these are certified safe. Even though Yisha is using them for funsies. All right. Picture. Open up the picture. Boop, 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 boop. So, does this look familiar by any chance? Eh? Oh, out of focus. It's really out of focus. I think my webcam is just like bit the dust. Whoops. Oh, I lost my space. So again, you just kind of have to intuit sometimes it'll put a circle in the middle of a circle when it's an interactable. So, voila, interactable. Okay. So there's a particular shape. Whoops. Whoops-a-daisy. And I believe this is the correct... So if you can see that, kind of, you can see that. So you've got the dingle dangle. You have the stick with the circle on it coming down from the top, and that doesn't move. But you have the little nubbin in the corner that can. And then you have the two, like, weird shapes that can turn. And you just kind of put the lines in the same spot. So I think this one's done. It's so quiet. Splish splash. I'm going over here now. Oh, I think there's like a Relto page or something. No. Oh. I have not been looking for these. This is probably a bad move on my part. Was that a big honkin' squee? I heard an E-trim. I heard a frog chirp. All right, so this one is a little more complicated. Oh, well, I just broke it. So the circle, or the long pole needs to be pointed like that. I think this needs to be... Oh. Whoops. Whoops. I think this needs to be here. There, see, so that's the second one. You kind of got the curve here with the little tail, and the pole is pointed in the right spot with a middle bit. And this is from the previous one. So that also doesn't rotate here. There's a tablet. I can't tell where that goes. I'm going to use it. It's another outlook on the neighborhood. Wait. No. Is it? No, this is an overlook on the city. Oh, no. Oh, no. All of a sudden, I got this huge flashback chasing all these balconies all over the town, looking for the path of the shell. I suppose we'll find it eventually, and you'll know what I mean. Just, okay, for the future, just remember this. The Great Zero, okay? When we start talking about the Great Zero, we're in for a world of hurt. Question. What is that slot for? And also, what is this slot for? Thought there were only 4 ages. Why are there 5 book slots? Eh? Eh? I seem to recall leaving this first slot flipped open so people could use it in Myst Online. I thought it was the Nexus so that people could leave, but this is the Nexus. I will leave it flipped up for posterity's sake. Is posterity the word that I think it is? Where it's kind of like for the good old times? Dictionary.com. We're going to learn something together today. Posterity. Not posterior. We all know what a posterior is. Posterity, noun, succeeding or future generation. Wait, what? Succeeding or future generations collectively? Oh, so descendants. Succeeding / future generations. So not for posterity. Not the word that I thought it was. We learned something here today. Say, I'll leave it flipped up for old time's sake. How about that? Where were we? Oh, Kaddish. 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 Oh. Oh, right. So, here's the other thing is every time you touch a tapestry, you get like a little bookmark thing. So you could use them to go back to certain parts of the age without having to repeat everything. Forgot that. Oh no, I turned around again. Need to go this way. Need to check for hidden tapestries. I guarantee there's a tapestry on one of these pillars. Is it this one? Yep, I knew it. So this age in particular, if you get to the end and don't have all the journey claws, ooh. Ooh. And we're walking. I really like the floor texture. And I never quite figured out what it was. It's kind of like tortoise shell with grass kind of painted on top of it. Maybe it's tree? Is it supposed to be trees? But honestly, it looks like the picture of a turtle shell, see? It's like they used turtle shell texture and painted it out on the floor. All right, we got the journey cloth in there. So I think we're good to move forward. The third pattern is thus. So, yeah, so the rotating peg needs to be down at the bottom. And I think, see the stick going counterclockwise? It's at the 12 o'clock now. I think that needs to be here. And then the little one in the middle, I might have it upside down, actually. Oh! The door has opened. I did it correctly. Not forgetting anything, am I? It is important not to forget anything. Like, I think this rotates and there's a journey cloth. Oh, see, look. Always look behind you in a Myst game. If a door opens, check behind it. There's probably something there. Oh. We've got music. We've got pretty fancy pants music. Do these shapes on the walls mean anything? I don't think so. All right, so we have 5 pedestals with lights. And the lights make a pattern in the floor. There we go. So, using the... Let's see, we have 5 pedestals. And if we look at, whoops, this gallery shot, which my camera is just going to refuse to focus on. Hello? Focus? Nope, it's just not going to. There are 5 circles on the left side, and some of them are dark and some of them are light. So the first one is dark. There's a funky little trick with this age to keep in mind that I will maybe remember to tell you in the future. Because if I say it now, it'll just kind of spoil everything. I'm going to reverse this just to double check. And I think it's wrong. Yep, it's wrong. Okay. Reverse it again. Invert. Invert. So we've got a light path. I suppose this is where third-person mode comes in handy. Beep boop 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 boop. Boop-de-doop, boop. It is very strange. The camera in this game, that is very strange. Hello? Did I mess it up? Surely that's the answer. Maybe. So that is off. On. Off. Off. On. Much easier to control in first person. Well. What am I doing wrong? Okay. So, because I'm stuck, and I'm not going to ace it like I suspected, I'm going to give a hint about this age. So the gallery gives you hints to the puzzle, but the gallery is the opposite. So that'll give you the solution, but then you have to somehow do the opposite of what it's telling you. So it's like, okay, it wants you to turn on. You can't see it. Like this? Nope, you're just not gonna see it. There are there's buttons. There's like 5 circles, and the combination is 1, 3, 4. So I did that first. 1, 3, 4, and then the floor of this room looked like the pattern on that thing. And then I walked along the path. Easy. Nope. So somehow I have to invert it, and then what? So is everything off? Off. Just turn everything off, please. Everything off. I used to be able to walk this. without lights. Believe it or not. I don't know if it did. I can't remember if it did anything when it walked it, but maybe I'm just remembering crazy. I'm willing to believe that I'm crazy. So let's try this, okay? This on. This on. This on. I mean, isn't this just what I did, though? Well, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. So this will turn on. Yes. It'll turn on. Then this will turn on. Nope. So I want off. The one way over there, off. This one, on. This one, off. This one, off. This one, on. So again, it's kind of the opposite. And I don't think that's going to work. I think the middle of the floor drops down. Like the middle is a circle. I think it drops down. But I don't know what to do. So turned it on. And this will off. On. On. Off. Maybe we walk the darkness here? Ah! I did it! So I lit up the lights as expected, and then I just walked where there was no light. There is a little red dot. You can kind of see it. Right there is where technically I started. Because on the other side is the 5 buttons. Although it's kind of blurry. At least on stream it's blurry. All right, so again with the click a button. Make sure the door's locked. There's probably a journey cloth. Nope. Nope, no cloth. I can't open it again. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, what? Splish splash. Is the glare, like, blocking it, or is there really no journey cloth there? There has to be one somewhere. It'll be real, real bad if I forget one. We can look at the scenery in a second. I'm scouring for journey claws. Super pretty. It's like channel wood, only not. Is that water? Because it looks like there's some reflection like right here, but I think it's just a hole in the fog. We've got a nice moon. I would live here. Ooh, there's a Relto page over there. Let's find the journey cloth first. We've got a big old pyramid with a circle on top, which I do believe is a gallery piece. I'm not crazy, right? There's a journey cloth. There it is. Oh, yeah. So really, Uru is just a, suddenly, light bulb. I know what that chirping creature is. I want to make this leap. I require Relto page. Tree. All right, stop flashing at me, book. I know I put stuff inside. So, I tried to quick save. I almost went to hit F5 to quick save. Oh, that's right. It's MMO style. There's no saving. There's just trusting that the game saves. There's just trusting. Oh, that's one thing I haven't done yet is screw up a jump. That's what the, I don't think I'm floating in the air. Look at my feet are like above the, anyway, that, if you miss the jump and you fall into a pit, you die and have to start over. Okay, no, you don't. Your character will automatically, link back to your island. They call it a panic link. So if you like fall too far, or, you know, if you're ever in a dangerous situation, your character will automatically link back to your little island. Did those move? Or was it just texture loading in? There are situations where I would jump. I can jump later and show you, but at the moment I'm not like... Well, I guess I just touched a tapestry cloth. Tapestry cloth. Journey cloth, journey tapestry. Oh, right. I remember this. This is one of those... I'm not impressed with this puzzle. Mostly because I really appreciate, and in fact, think it's a requirement, for a puzzle to have everything you need when you get to it. And you can just, once you get to the puzzle, if you know how to solve it, you can just do it immediately. This is actually a perfect example. I could just show you how the panic link works because it'll use up time. So I hit that button a couple times. The light turned on in the room, and then the light shut off in the room. Nothing happened. I'm leaving the light on, and I'm just going to Geronimo! That's what happens when you jump off. Okay, here's another thing. The previous games didn't really discuss it, but the books, I think, touched on this. Get it? Haha, touched on it. You can, when you are in an age, you cannot link to the age that you are currently in. So, say you're on Myst. You have in your hand a Myst linking book. You try to link to Myst while you're in Myst, you touch the page and nothing will happen. And I don't know if that was like mentioned in the Myst journals. That was too long ago. I know it was not mentioned in the Riven journals. I'm pretty sure it's a novel thing. However, as you can see, we are on Relto. I have a Relto book on my belt. If I run off the edge of my own island, I will panic link back to my island. No explanation why. In-game, that is. I mean, I know why they did it, but I feel like if you do something game mechanics in a world that has all these rules, you need to explain why you can't do that or why you suddenly can do that. And they just don't. They change a lot of the rules and just don't explain it. They just say, oh, it's because of what Yisha learned. Yisha magic. In previous games, I would assume you couldn't bring a Myst book to Myst at all. Yeah, you could, but I mean, in the games you couldn't. I mean, in the games you couldn't bring books anywhere. You could just take the page. You could take one page at a time for Cirrus and Akinar, and that was it. But lore-wise, the reason is you can't link to your own. It's like dialing your own address with a Stargate. It's like you're already there. You can't link to where you are. Anyway, now go back to maybe it's been enough time. This is the wrong one. This is the red one. So, I will show you what I mean by I would prefer to have puzzles with the solution in front of me. Even if I don't see it, I can finish it if I know the solution. I'll walk around, blah, 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 blah. Don't get me wrong, I like this age. This one's my favorite age, but it has some design issues. Ta-da! You have to leave the light on in this room for long enough to charge the glow-in-the-dark bits. And you just have to leave and go do something else for a while. The Path of the Shell does some, like, time-sensitive puzzles where it's not like rush, rush, rush. It's you just sit and wait around to finish a puzzle, and I don't appreciate that approach. And now I am trying to find which gallery. So this one, my gosh, can't see. You can kind of see it if I don't shine the light directly at the camera. See, it's got the mushroom on top. It's got like a pyramid dome with a sphere on it, and it's opening up and the light is shining down. But I don't see any like tree pattern here. Now, so there's a mushroom at the top, or a tree. I keep saying mushroom because there is a mushroom age, but this is a tree. There's a circle underneath the tree, and then there's a light shining down into the top of this pyramid. And then under each pyramid, there is a square. So a white square with a square in it, and then a white square with a square in it, and then a black square with a circle in it. And then there's 6 dots underneath of it. Actually, it suddenly has come to me. I think you have to walk the path of trees. Not those. No, no, no. That's not a tree because it has like 3 things, I guess. But all of these with like 1 post. I did it! I don't know how you would interpret that from this gallery puzzle. Now I'm just sad because what I would really love... No, 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 no! Oh, I stayed here too long. Well, going up. What I would really love is a puzzle game I have never played before. Unfortunately, I've played a lot of them. And I know someone will suggest, like, you know, like Monkey Island, or what is it? Full Throttle is one of them. Even like Zork or things like that. I just can't wrap my head around those kinds of puzzles. It makes me mad to do like weird things to the world to make progress. Okay, now here is another. Here in this room are 4 big counterweights. So you have a big drum and then a counterweight. Drum and a counterweight. You have 4 of them. Man, what is wrong with my camera? I would fix my camera, but then I have to Alt-Tab and then it would, like, break everything. Can you see that? Nope, can't. Full throttle was really frustrating. I was trying to do something, couldn't get it to work, looked it up, and was right. Just wasn't clicking 1 millimeter to the left. That too. Now, I will admit Myst is kind of that way. The old Myst, definitely, where it was of the era where you just kind of like clicked on absolutely every pixel because you might have missed something. Will you stop going up and down back there? I think the new Telltale games, they would let you turn on or off the like this does, where if you mouse over an interactable, it fills in the middle. Okay. I'm not frustrated. I'm just reading this chart. I'm reading this puzzle, this thing. All right, I'll try to explain it because the picture is so blurry for you guys. We have, from left to right, a red counterweight, a white one, a green one, and a blue one. Around the puzzle is the rotating numbers, and some of the numbers are colored in. So for red, the Dunning numerals 2, 3, and 4 are colored in. Yes. 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to write that down. Red. 2, 3, 4. For the white one, the numbers colored in are 1, 2, 3. For the green one, colored in are 2, 3, 4. So it's green is just like red. Let me double check that. Yeah, 2, 3, 4. For the blue one, nobody buy the blue ones. The numbers colored in are 1, 3, 4. Okay. And I suddenly remember the answer to this. And just like the last one, just like the light puzzle, so this one is kind of like, it's highlighting things for you, but you need to somehow do the opposite. So it says red 2, 3, 4. And so pull the red lever once. And I totally forgot that ladders came out of the ground. So white, it's the next one, it says 1, 2, 3. So do that 4 times. Now I'm going to double up on this. And I can pull other levers at the same time. So 2, 1, 2. 3. This one needs to be 1. And then this blue one needs to be 2. And this should be the last one. We got a cinematic. It must have been somewhat correct. And just like Myst, can you imagine somebody building this? It's that thing, right? You either try to write the age with this thing already built, which means sometime in the history of this age, a civilization had to build this. Or this wasn't here when you created the age, and you had to build it all yourself. What? Did you just see what I just saw? Gosh darn it. No. But I don't. No. No. There's a journey cloth, like, in a room on the other side of this thing. I can't leave. I have to go get it. Because Yisha wants to teach me something. So I did the solution. But I have to put a ladder up there to get the journey cloth. See, there it is. You can't see it very well from the ground, but there's a door right there. Fine, ye shall touch your handprint. We might get done with one age. Look, the ladder doesn't go all the way up either. All right, pull this lever. And wait. Pull it again. And wait. Pull it again. And wait. And then this one. Alright, now I can climb up then. So really all these ages, did I already say that all these ages are really just a scavenger hunt for Yisha's handprint cloths that she's hidden all over the place? At points of interest she wants us to see. It's like, you should really pay attention to this wall back here. Isn't it astounding? Something about pride and greed. So, yeah. Yep. I was going to say, even if the city was like collapsed because of greed and pride, what is she saying that will actually help anything? She's not really saying anything. Clicky click. Okay. Red 1, white 4, green 1, blue 2. Here we go again. So I'll pull 4, 1, 1, 2, 'Yay! We figured it out. Woo! Here's a question. Has anybody here seen or heard of the game called The Dig? It is an old LucasArts adventure game. It was actually written up by Steven Spielberg. Yeah, I think it's on Steam. You have to play it in the Scum VM thing, but it works. Maybe I will play that. I haven't played it in like quite a long time. And from what I recall, pretty decent, right? Like I remember what happens, I just don't remember the puzzles. Although, here's the thing though. I started Myst Online just because I kind of felt like I'd been wanting to do it, continue the Myst series, but I felt like this game has a lot of talking on my part to kind of fill in the gaps and just talk about stuff, and I hadn't felt like doing that, but I felt like doing it today, so I decided I'd better get it out of the way while I can do it. However, the next event, the next week, week 2 of the pre-patch event in Warcraft landed today. So I might be doing that tomorrow. I'm just double checking for journey cloths because don't forget to touch the journey cloths in this age. So this week is the last week of pre-patch. Man, I really have the sensation that I'm forgetting something big. There's a thing down there. I don't think it's possible to jump. I'm not gonna jump. Anyway, I would like to continue this and do other puzzle games because I've been feeling puzzle gamey. But Shadowlands comes out next week. And this is the final week of pre-patch. So it might be Warcraft until I'm level 60 on my druid, because I'm warning everybody ahead of time. It might not be fun to watch, but it's been on my bucket list for a while to stream an expansion. I know, right? It'll be like... Yeah, it's like trying to get to level 60 again. We haven't done that since 2004. Well, unless you play Classic. I don't play Classic. I thought I would play Classic. I played it for like 5 levels. And then quit. I still have it installed, but I don't play it. Okay. I kind of just blew past this, but this is a big old giant square. It looks quite Halo, actually. Reminds me of something I'd find in Halo. It's just a big old, like, vault. Feels like it should be holding, like, the Ark of the Covenant or something. So this is one of these puzzles that I figured out once at the very beginning, well, 2003. And then I just, once I'm like, all right, I figured it out. Now I'm just gonna, use guides and stuff to get in from here on out. That was 17 years ago. I don't remember how to do this puzzle. So this is a vault door. We have 6 lights, 3 on each side of the door. It's clearly split in half, but it's closed at the moment. We have 1 light connected to 4 symbols, a second light connected to 4 symbols, 3rd light, and so forth. There are 6 lights altogether. There are 6 lights! There are 4 symbols per light. There is a gallery fixture with a pedestal. Remember the pedestals with the spinning symbols on top of them? There are 6 pedestals. And on top of each pedestal, rotating, are 3 symbols. So the first symbol, or each pedestal, is numbered. So pedestal number 1 has on it plain tree, a tree with like branches sticking out of it, and then a tree with 2 dots beside it. Okay. I'm going to take a picture of this door. However, I don't recall needing to know what's on the door per se. What's important is what's on the control panel. It is possible, I might add, to accidentally fling yourself off the edge of this and panic link back to Relto. Okay. So the control panel is exactly like the door. So this one is Dunny numeral 1. So clearly that's 1. It's pointing to not a tree, but a tree with like a mushroom. I'm going to call it the mushroom because it's like a tree with an extra. It's got a trunk and a hat. It is not shaped like a tree. It looks like a mushroom. So 2 has the square here. See, 2 has the square. And then it has this square. And then it has a square that's not on here. I'll bet these pillars. So again, going back to the beginning, this age is all about giving you the hints, and then you have to do the opposite somehow, whatever that is. So pedestal number 2 has a box with like arms. So it cannot be this one because it has a box with arms, or this one because it has a box with arms. It also can't be this one because it has a box with arms at the top. It also can't be Feel like it could be this one or this one. I really just don't understand this at all. All right, well, let's try 3. Three is this pyramid. Here, 3 is this. And also 3 is this one. This shape. Which is also up here. 3 is also just a regular pyramid with a circle on top. Say what now? I'm not seeing the logic puzzle here. Maybe I will draw these shapes out. Can I not draw them on paper? No. Up, the Discord. Well, this is uninteresting for you guys, isn't it? Because I can't exactly show you these. All right. So, pedestal number 1. It has, and I quote, a tree. with the branches. And then it also has a tree with branches going all wonky. And then it has... Am I just going to get a paper? I'm just going to get a paper. I'll be right back. Do I have a pencil? I have a pencil. This is the ribbon notes. Remember? Ribbon notes. Alright. Actually, we'll use the other side. How do you like them apples? Pencil. We have a square. We have another square. Okay, do it like this. 1, 2, 3. And then 4. And 5. It's going to be kind of sloppy. That's 5, and you're 6. All right. So this one has mushroom. Not mushroom, tree. Oh, gosh! This one has that. This has a pyramid with a circle and 3 lines in the top of it. 4 has a box with 2 boxes on top of it, oddly enough. This one has a circle. It looks like a sniper target. And then this one is a fabled mushroom. Next, this one has a tree with crazy arms. I am not ending this stream until this vault is open. Just to let you know, got a tiny little square, and then on the last set of squares, transcribing them. And watch it just not come through at all. Ooh, this is a weird one. It's a circle and then boop, 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 and then the mushroom again. All right. Can you see? Probably not. We have 1. Those 3 mushrooms. So you got a regular, mushrooms. Tree. You got a regular tree, and then a tree with arms going out to the sides, and then a tree with 2 dots. 2, you have the boxes. You have the boxes with like the punchy arms going up and down, and then you have a box with legs, it's upside down. Then you have a box with like legs out of its head and legs out of its feet. Then for 3, you have the pyramids. You have a pyramid with a circle and then 3 lines at the top, like a beacon. And then you have pyramid with a circle with lines out of it like a sniper shot. And then you just have a regular old pyramid with a circle. And then you have like boxes again. Boxes with boxes through them. I don't know how else to explain that. That's 4. And then 5 is just the sniper shot and the circle with a vertical line through it, and then a circle. And then for 6, you have the mushrooms because they don't have branches. They just have like a tree trunk. So you got a regular old tree, or my gosh, I'm calling these trees. I'm calling the trees mushrooms. So looking at this chart, 1. This is clearly enabled 1. So it's helping us. So 1 has no tree at all. So 2, it could be this one, because it has no box. It can't be that one because there's a box. Can't be that one, there's a box. It could be this one. But not this one because it's a box. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it also can't be this one because there's a tree on it? What? Maybe it's process of elimination? Because, like, this is 1. And 2 could either be this one or this one. But maybe further on down the line, say maybe 2, yeah, this is 2 and 5. So maybe 2 and 5, share. 2 can be both, but 5 can only be one of them. So obviously the one remaining would be a 2. Kind of like Sudoku. I've been doing a ton of Sudoku. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. 1. Obviously, 1 is 1. 1 is 1, and we got it. Boom. So 2 can either be, literally, 2 or, 4. 2 or 4. Now, 3 can be, 2. Or 3 can be 3. But it cannot be 4 because there's a circle here. It cannot be 5 because there's a circle. And it can't be 6 because there's a pyramid, rather. All right. So the numeral 1, number 1. Oh, okay, I don't even know. Because there's like Dunny numeral 1, but then there's button 1 through 6. We're trying to catalog which button to push in which order. So the first button, here. The second button could either be button number 2 or button number 4. The third button could either be button number 2 or button number 3. The fourth button could either be button number 3 or button number 4. The fifth button could either be 1, oddly enough, but it can't be 1 because 1's already hit. So the fifth button could either be 1 or 2. Nope, because there's a circle. It can't be 3 because there's a circle. It could be 4. And it cannot be 5 or 6 because there's a circle. I think that's the solution, guys. So 5 overlapped with the first set of symbols. But 1 is already hit. All right, so the sixth button could either be, cannot be the first button, or the second button, or the third, or the fourth. It can be the fifth. The sixth button could either be button number 5 or 6. All right. So, since the fifth button to push is button number 4, 2 buttons overlap with 4, but they can no longer overlap with 4. And now, because I know those, uh-oh. Uh-oh. This might be wrong. Because now I've got now button number 3 is either the third button to push is either 2 or 3. But 2 or 3 are already taken. I think I messed that up. All right, one more time. The first button to push is obviously this one. The second button to push cannot be 1. It can be 2. It cannot be 3 because there's a box. It cannot be 4 because there's a box. And therein lies my problem. No, wait. Don't you hate it? You're kind of like on the right track, but then your notes screwed up and now it's all wrong, but you're still right. You just are wrong. Ah! Okay. One more time. 1 is 1. The first button to push is button number 1. Boom. Button number 2. It cannot be this, which is button number 3. Actually, I'm just going to go down the list. It cannot be 1 because it's already 1. It can be 2 because there are no boxes that match the gallery. It cannot be 3 because there's a box. It cannot be 4 because there's a box. It can be 5 because there is no box. But it cannot be 6 because there's a box. All right, so it can be either... The second button to push is either 2 or 5. The third button to push can't be 1 because that's already pushed. It can be the second button because there's no pyramid. It can also be the third button because there's no pyramid. It cannot be button 4, 5, or 6 because each of those has a pyramid symbol on its set. So the third button to push is 2 or 3. Next, the fourth button to push can't be 1, it's already pushed. It cannot be 2 because it's got like the overlapping squares symbol. It can be 3 because even though there's like a square, there's not like overlapping square symbols. So it can be 3. It can also be 4. 3 or 4. Because there's no overlapping squares. Cannot be 5 because there's an overlapping square, and it cannot be 6, overlapping square. The fifth button to push cannot be 1 because it's already pushed. It cannot be 2 because there's a circle. It cannot be 3 because there's a circle. It can be 4 because there's no circle. But it cannot be 5 or 6 because there's a circle. So the fifth button to push is definitely button number 4. And now the sixth button to push cannot be 1 because we know that for sure. It cannot be 2 because there's a mushroom. It cannot be 3 because there's a mushroom. It cannot be 4 because we've already pushed it. Also, there's a mushroom. It can be 5. And it can be 6 because there are no mushrooms. So now, process of elimination. We know the first button in this, where it goes in the sequence. We know the fourth button is used in the sequence already. So the third button to push is either 3 or 4, but it can't be 4 because that's already used. So the third button to push in the sequence is 3. And we know that for sure. No, wait, the fourth button to push is 3. The third button to push is either button 2 or 3. But we're already pushing 3 for sure, so that only leaves 2. And now that we know button number 2 is already in use, we can cross that off all of our lists. And we know button 5 is crossed. All right. That probably makes 0 sense talking about it. It is kind of like Sudoku or like Venn diagram or something, where it's like, all right, you have these two buttons that can be in two different positions. But once you know, it's like filling in a Sudoku row. You know, once you like fill one out, then the rest just kind of like chain react down, like, oh, well, we know those numbers can't overlap anymore. All right, so 1 is 1. The second button is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The third button is 2. The fourth button is 3. The fifth button is 4. And the sixth button is 6. It worked! I solved the Kagdish Tolesa. There is some disagreement on how to pronounce the name of this age. It is written down like Kaddish Tolesa, like Kadish. But in the Dunny language, there is a symbol for AH or ah, and there is a symbol for AY or A. And when you like translate it, I'm going to say lazily, if you translate both of those symbols to A, you're reading it and it could either be Kaddish Tolesa or Kadish Tolesa. And there is your Dunny language. What's it? There's like treasure in here. This is definitely a treasure vault. Yes. I'm sure all of Dunny is like a Cirrus. This is supposed to be like treasure hoarding Cirrus. There is... This is... I'm looking it up. Kadish Tolesa Vault Dunny Script Letter. Translation of Kadish Tolesa Note. Keep in mind that a lot of the Dunny on the note is not yet known. Funny. That's kind of cool. So it's like a partial translation because we did not have the words at the time. We probably do now because this post is from 2003. So see, like I said, the game went live in 2003 and then the Myst Online part was in 2004. So roughly translated, it's like I have met my end. Something about death. When these words are found, I would not die for nothing. I died for everything. Basically, when the Dunny city fell, everybody was poisoned by, poison gas, really. So he must have fled here. I'm wondering if there's like an updated translation. Oh, that's a link to a forum that's probably no longer there. Tolesa means vault. Probably as a result of calling it Kadish Tolesa. So Kadish is this guy who's like here. This is Kadish. This is Kadish Tolesa. So Kadish Vault. That is a book to the gallery. I don't want to go back there, right? Please tell me there's a journey cloth in here somewhere. Please. Please. I'm missing one. No. Oh. Right? I'm missing one? Dare I close this door and see if there's one there? Well, there is most certainly no tapestry inside. Oh, well, it opens, so that's good. Is there no? There's gotta be a tapestry, a journey cloth in here. There's gotta be. Is it stuck on a box somewhere? Is it where I can't see? No? Hello? I mean, all right, she wants me to look at all the treasure. Okay, I see all the treasure. Yay. Can I sit in that? No. Oh, I can jump on some stuff. Oh, there it is. What the? Oh, gosh. See, look, jumping puzzles. Jumping puzzles. Jump. 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 I almost went back to the gallery. All right. And half an hour over. My apologies. Not really. But after I go through this door down here, colloquially termed a borrow door, so every age you collect all the tapestries and then you find the handprint door and then you go into the spooky tunnel. Hear the chirps. Chirpy chirp chirp.
Your journey has begun. You can't imagine how these small things affect the future, but someday you will return. Many paths have brought me to this place. The path of my great-grandmother, bringer of destruction. The path of my grandfather, the rebuilder of pride. The path of my mother, writer of dreams. And of my father, my dear father, the caretaker of burdens. And I knew that at the end of such great paths must lay a great purpose. I returned to the cleft to find it. Cleft. The fissure in the desert, the wound in the earth, the path to things beneath the surface. It was there I sought to find my purpose. It was from there I came to know the dead underground city of Denis. These Denis people who are now gone came thousands of years ago to the shelter of the cavern to return to leastness. They found solace in their smallness in the dark. and so did I. But light is powerful in the darkness.
Okay.
The bones of Guildmaster Kadish speak louder than words.
Oh, Kadish then.
His bones are the bones of Denis. He clung to the teachings of good King Negan, who required good citizens to cling to their treasure. This Kadish you have seen would not give back, would not return, would not let go. He had long been one of the wealthiest of the Denis, owning more than he could possibly make use of. He built Aegis to protect the extra, and when the fall came, he clung to his possessions over all else. And so you see only death in his vault. Extravagant death. It is an image of Denis. And now to these pillars. These 4 pillars around you are the very being of the Bahro. You must take them. They will bring a great treasure to Relto, your age, the island in the clouds. Relto will be their keeper for only a brief time.
Are you okay? The glowing symbols on the wall have stopped. The magic pillar has melted into stars. This is a symbol that you need to write down and save for later. It's a tablet with the squiggly and like comb feet. And then, oh look, it's kind of like a discount star fissure. Then you just jump into the well of stars, and then you get a Bahro pillar. And so, my first age is finished. So yeah, Uru is sort of retconning the novels a little bit. I don't approve of it, but there you go. The city fell because it was proud and rich. And some of the people blame, so let's see, she talked about her grandmother, the bringer of destruction. So she was the grandmother was the surface dweller who found her way into Dunny after they like caused an earthquake trying to get to the surface. And they just Dunny heralded her coming, I guess, as kind of like an ill omen, like we don't surface dwellers? No. But really, I didn't get that from the books. Like, they seemed fairly welcoming. I don't think they were going to let her leave, but it's not like they, kept her locked up. They actually integrated her very well, and she was, like, addressing their council and everything. So it's like, okay, so the surface dweller came down to the city. Okay. But yeah, they were like, oh no, that was the beginning of the end. We're all dead now because she introduced ideas. And she didn't really. At least not in the book, so I don't know. I prefer the books. The books are better. Anyway, that is finally the first age done. There are 4 ages left, and they're all kind of similar to that to some. Well, Kadish, that age is like the most puzzly. The rest are just kind of like puzzles scattered here and there, and like this one. This one is mostly jumping puzzles, sadly. This one has a lot of like you're waiting around and jumping puzzles. This one's okay. It's more exploration and less puzzles, but it's okay. Anyway, That's it. I'm like 30 minutes over. I'm doing this because I have a headache, and also I'm just like, ugh. It's been like 17 years, and I still can't even with some of the the weird dialogue and like, what are you trying to say exactly? Just spit it out. But I guess that was kind of the point because different people would play the game and like come to different conclusions about what things meant. So there was always like, I don't know, politics, political discussion about what Yisha meant and what she was saying and what she wanted to do and stuff. So maybe that was like part of their ongoing story was to just like have like RP, I guess, role play, intrigue and stuff. So anyway, that's that. This is going to be awkward to stop the stream. So I'll just say that I think the game saved. Yeah, are you sure you want to quit? As soon as I hit quit, it's just going to go poof. So thanks for watching, all the watchers and all the chatters and all the lurkers. I know it was kind of long. Tomorrow I'm probably going to do Warcraft instead of this just to kind of get characters through week 2 of the pre-event. Yeah, I will keep everybody apprised of. So one thing to do, I mean, it's the end of this. Who's going to be like watching VODs for this? But what I do is I try to title if what I'll change the title to what I think I'm going to play that day fairly early on. And if I cancel the stream, then I'll change the title to that too. Like, sorry, stream canceled. Like for yesterday, I didn't stream, obviously. So I guess for now, that's the only place really to keep up on like news because I don't really use Twitter. I don't think people would follow me on Twitter even if I did have a Twitter. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a nice evening. I'll probably see you tomorrow. The reason I didn't stream is yesterday is just because I was doing a bunch of different things and cleaning and like reading up on Uru and all this stuff, and then I lost track of time and I couldn't get started on time. And anyway, anyway, I will see you guys later. Bye now. Bye. 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 And here we go. I'm just going to quit. You're going to see my fancy desktop after a bunch of broken streams and everything. And there, good enough. I killed it. See you later. Bye. Thanks for watching.